It just allows to record, but it just says make host. I don't see what other options I have. You guys, please be patient. I'm using this is Verdita Monk out of Atlanta. I'm using Dr. China's line, and I'm not sure.
Mention that audio.
I only see make host, Lawrence. But you can share your screen,
Yeah, just want to make sure that
I can make you the host whenever you get ready.
you can make me host right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna, before we just go straight into it, if I make you the host, will I still be the host too?
I'll just unmute you so you can speak.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. I just want to make sure I mute everybody out.
Okay, hey, Virginia, hello?
Hi, Andre.
Yeah, I just want to let you know I'm here. I was having difficulty with my mic. I just wanted to check in with you, so I'm going to go ahead and mute myself now.
All right, thank you so much for joining the call. Can you hear me still, Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay. So you've muted, you've muted everybody?
Yes, they can unmute themselves if they want to speak.
Just go ahead and announce yourself and welcome to the call. Please let us know where you're calling from. You may have to unmute yourself. We were just trying to mute out the background noise. Thank you so much. We normally just kind of let everybody check in first, and then we just tell them to mute themselves out as soon as they say their name. So I don't know if you want to unmute yourself and announce who you are and where you're calling from. Go ahead and do so.
Well, they can. Everybody's unmuted if they want.
All right. So I don't see that they're unmuted, but.
Can you hear me?
Good evening, everybody. This is Piker calling from Atlanta.
Hey, Piker. Thanks for calling.
All right. Brennan and Deidre Reddy.
Hello there. Where y'all calling from?
Atlanta.
Awesome. Awesome. Good to hear from you. Who else is on the call?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Taika White, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri is probably cold up there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right. Hello, Angela and Pastor Carl. Thank you so much for joining the call. We're going to be getting started in just about 1 more minute. I'm going to give you another minute to announce yourself. And then we've got a wonderful call set up for you all. So go ahead and announce yourself.
This is Christian returning back from Toronto, Canada on the call tonight.
Awesome. Christian from Toronto, Canada. Who else is on the call? Please announce yourself. All right.
This is Lamont from Virginia.
Hi, Lamont. Thanks for calling in. Anybody else want to announce yourself before we get started with the call?
This is Scott McCurry from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello, Scott. Thank you so much for joining. Is Bishop on the call with you too?
Yes, Verdita, I'm here.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Bishop, you know what I want to do is ask you to do me a huge favor. You know how we always like to get on one accord on this call. We're going to get this call started and want everyone to be on one accord. So if you could just do a short prayer for us so that we can just get started, I really would appreciate it.
Absolutely. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, Verdita?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Father God, we thank you for this evening. We thank you, Lord God, for this time of expectancy. And we also thank you for the grace to increase. We thank you that people are coming to find us, God. And we thank you that we are on the names of the people and nations that we have yet to go. We thank you, Lord God, that as we learn tonight, that you will give every presenter clear articulation of speech, God, and you would have our ears to be open to learn, God, and our wallets open to earn. Father God, we thank you that we increase in everything that we do, and we thank you that your hand not only flows on us, but it protects us from everything that tries to devour every assignment that you have to make sure that we increase. So God, tonight, increase our hearts, our minds, our spirits, and God, increase our productivity. And we give you honor, and we thank you and claim it as done now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Awesome. Thank you so much, Bishop Tier out of Atlanta, Georgia. You guys, Platinum 1000 on her way to Platinum 2000. Thank you so much for all that you do for the team. So good evening, everyone. My name is Verdita Monk. I'm a Platinum 5000 out of Atlanta, Georgia. Just taking over the call tonight, hosting the call for Dr. China Bethley. She is in Chicago doing a launch meeting up there, and we're going to move right along with this call. Want to first of all acknowledge if there's anyone on the call that has it's your first call, or if you have someone on the call that you want to welcome to the team, let's just do that first before we do anything else. So anyone new on the call, or if you have a new member that you want to share with introduce to the team. Go ahead and just welcome any new team members right now. You may have to mute yourself. I know that we have some new people coming on board, and they just are trying to get through this system that we've got some little back office complications, but I know we have some new people tentatively coming on board. Feel free to just, welcome any guests that you have on the call that are going to be coming on board. All right, so I guess no one is speaking up. We're just going to move right along. We want to welcome you once again to the Rich University Monday night huddle call. We do this call every Monday night at 10 o'clock Eastern. And so the first thing I want to do is just let you know that this call is to empower you, to just provide support, and to just provide a platform for all of us to pull together and just support each other. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're just going to focus solely on a trade house. And we have the pleasure, you guys, we have the pleasure of having on this call someone who I have grown to really, really appreciate, because number one, he is our upline. He's the one who started this team with Dr. Jewel Tankard. He and his wife, Tamara Young, up in Detroit, Michigan, were the ones that brought Dr. Jewel Tankard on board. He is a Chairman 50. And I tell you guys, he is making some serious money trading in this space. But I know that he has some very special skill sets that he's been able to master this with, and helped a lot of other people as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out of the way. Anything that I need to do to assist you as far as pulling up slides or anything like that, please feel free to let me know. But this is someone that you definitely want to take some notes, because he's going to bring it to us, you guys. Lawrence Young, our Chairman 50 out of Detroit, Michigan. Are you there?
Hey, I'm here, Verdita. How you doing today?
I am wonderful. I'm wonderful. You take it away.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, putting this call together, stepping in for China. That shows the leadership that you bring to the table, and also shows the fact that we have some really good duplication in our team. And anytime you can have leaders step in and do these calls and inspire the masses, just let you know you're on the right path. And I know you and your husband have massive experience in this particular industry, and I'm just so thankful and grateful to lock arms with people in your caliber and want to help you guys get to the other side. So with that being said, I know this call tonight, is going to be about some training. We just did a training on the Gold Cup strategy with Luke Longmire, which is very simple. But I just want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, something that worked for me. And before I get into this, I just want to tell you that, past results don't guarantee the future profits. What works for me may not work for you. My particular strategy is different. I'm a scalp trader, so I'm in and out like a thief of the night with my trades. So hopefully this can help you some. But again, I'm really guiding more of my team and all the leaders to the Gold Cup strategy, because for me, I think it's the most simple strategy we have. All you got to do is draw two lines, support and resistance, and wait for the retest off the line. If it goes off the line at the top or the bottom, you know you're doing a buy or sell. So it's very simple. But I'm going to show you what works for me that has produced these type of results for me. I want to show you guys, this is for inspiration only. I normally don't do this. I want to share with you guys. This, for one, is a real account. So you can see a little demo account there. And just over the last 4 weeks, 63,000.
Wow. Barnes, can you please record the call? It won't allow me to do it.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Perfect. Yeah, I got you. Okay. So this kind of results that we're getting, you know, my wife and I, and this is for the past week, you know, 20,000 last 7 days. And I mean, you know, if you look at my trades, I just want to show you guys something. This here on my strategy was what works for me. Look at the left and see how many red trades you see that were lost.
Not many.
Yes, you can see, you barely see any reds, you know, over there. And I say that to say this, you know, I've been trading for almost 3 years now. I'm not a genius. You know, a lot of stuff was confusing to me in the beginning, but I just had to focus on something that works for me. So hopefully what I'll share with you with the Harmonic scanner will kind of give you guys some good insight and help you with your trade plan. What I tell people to do in your beginning parts of your trading, like I was talking to Mark earlier, and I was telling him, like, look, you want to focus on one strategy in one currency pair. Like literally, I've got a guy I know who just trades the pound yen, and he's not at iMarkets Live, but he's made over $30 million just trading one pair. So he got a chance to learn that one currency pair. So if I give you guys any advice, when I first started, that's what I did. I focused on the Great British Pound, Japanese yen. Then I went to the US dollar, Euro, US dollar. So get a chance to learn a particular strategy, because most of the time people fail in trading because you trade in all these currency pairs. You don't know the movements in. You get in some of these Swiss pairs, some of these Aussie pairs. You lock in those trades a long time, you know. And, you know, for me, I don't like those currency pairs. So you got to find what works for you, but find something to stick to. What I like about the Gold Cup is he only focuses on the Great British Pound USD, Great British Pound Australian dollar, and gold. So you could pick which one you want to focus on, but just pick one, get to know it, get to know the highest points, lowest points, get a chance to know the consolidation times, get a chance to know how news affects on those particular days, and make sure you make a chronicle of those trades, right? So like just the other day, a lot of New Zealand. If you trade in New Zealand, there was a lot of red folders on the NZD, and it went up like 250 pips in one day. So what you do is you take a snapshot of all those red folders, right, of what happened that particular day, and then you take a snapshot of the candles, what happened over that daily time, and now you can go back next month and see those same red folders, and you know that you're going to have a 200 pip move, 150, 200 pip move. You're not looking to get all of them. You just want to get some of them, but at least you get a chance to know, because history repeats itself. So if I give you guys any advice, that's what works for me. I learned that from a gentleman in our team that's just outlandishly successful trading. And I just kind of follow his template. So what I'm going to share with you, I honestly cannot take, credit for it. I just learned it from my partner who actually uses the Harmonic scanner tool, and it works for him. So if you're not really tapped into this particular product, you're really, really missing the boat, because the product is incredible. And when you learn it and understand the type of money you can extract from it, it's very simple. So I'm going to give you guys some basics on what we do. So basically, when you look at the scanner, like I use this product every single day. When you look at the scanner, you want to click the refresh button at the top left. And what this is going to do is going to give you the moves they see that are most viable right now that are setups. Okay, so right now the NZD USD just populated. Okay, on the 15-minute chart through JFX. Okay, so let's see, I'm gonna show you guys what I do. Okay, so what I do is you want to use these couple of indicators. Okay, and we'll just use this on this particular trade to see if it works. What I usually do is I use Bollinger Bands. Okay, and I use stochastic. Okay, so I simply trade with Bollinger Bands and stochastics and RSI. RSI, you already have that on the screen there. On the scanner, it's already defaulted. So what I generally look for when I look at a trade, for one, I want to trade something that has a good take profit 3. Okay, I'm looking for something that has a good wide mouth of this Bollinger Band. So if I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this Bollinger Band has got a wide entry, which is giving me a lot of profit. As a matter of fact, if you look here from the entry point, it's 683 up to here, 685. That's giving you about 200, about 25 pips on this one particular move. Not a lot, but it's giving you something. But I'm gonna show you, it's all about mastering entry. So when you use the Harmonic scanner, it's all about mastering your entry at the right time. And what happens is with the scanner, you have to be extremely patient. I know Verdita's been on some of my trainings, but we actually trained for an hour. We didn't even execute a trade because the candles weren't giving the story that we needed. And it's always better to be out of a trade you wish you were in instead of in of a trade you wish you were out of. So that's why the patience is so important. So what I look for, like I say, I look for the wide mouth of the Bollinger Band. And what I look for also is, okay, I'm trying to make this bigger here. Okay. So I'm waiting for this line here. Okay. So if you look at this line here, this is the bottom line of the Bollinger Band. So what I look for is we have a new candle coming up in the next 9 minutes. Okay. So at 10:30 is going to be a new candle. So every 15 minutes, there's a new candle. But what you want to look for is, for one, is a D position for the buy, right? Secondly, you want to look at the candle. Did it break the Bollinger Band? And did you have some volume in that candle that broke the Bollinger Band? So in this case, the answer would be yes, because the blue candle formulated. The candle is inside, it's crossed inside the Bollinger Band line. And it's not just the wick. You have some body of that particular candle that's broken the Bollinger Band. So you got to have some volume in that body of that particular candle that breaks the Bollinger Band. Okay. Now, generally, what I look for are 4 things I look for. One, is there a wide mouth in this Bollinger Band? Okay, that's my first question. Second question is my RSI and stochastics level, the level I need them to be. Okay, and what I mean by that is I'll make sure I text this out to Verdita, and she can actually get this guys to you, get this information to you. I've got the strategy kind of written down, pretty simply. But what you want to do is you want to look for the Bollinger Band RSI stochastic has to be over 80 if you're doing a buy. Okay, I'm sorry, a sell. If you're doing the sell, it's got to be over 80. So here you want to look for, if we're doing a buy, you want to wait for this to crack the 30. The stochastic level is the 30, right around this 30 marker. So generally, the stochastics, so you see this pink little area right here. What you want to look for is you want to wait for these 2 red and blue lines here. Okay, this is going to be an extra confirmation. So when this actually breaks through this pink area, you want to make sure this red and blue line break this area, and then you have the blue line facing upwards. Okay, like right now, I wouldn't enter this trade because it's not answering all my questions of yes. Did it break the Bollinger Band? Yes. But it's not giving me the cross I need, and it hasn't actually broken into the range I needed to in the stochastic. So I'm going to wait for these 2 lines across here. And when the red and blue line cross each other and the blue line is facing up, that means it's going to give me a nice movement up. Okay. So if you look at right here, history repeats itself. You look at right here where the red and blue line cross each other. Okay. The red and blue line cross each other, and look at the movement. that went way up to here. Okay. And history repeats itself many, many times. So if you go back and you can look at most trades, you will see when the red and blue line cross and the blue has a definitive, move up, you see you can catch some pips with that. So for me, I wouldn't enter this trade yet because it's not meeting all of my criteria. So what I do is patience comes in and I wait for the next, candle is going to formulate the next 6 minutes. Hopefully by then we can get a definitive move here, which will give me a yes, and it'll give me the time to enter that particular trade. And what happens is too many times people jump into this. You see the D here, you say, well, I'm just going to enter. But see, you can't do that. You have to have some of these confirmations that are giving you all, all the goals you need to actually enter that particular trade. There's been times I'm on here and it just won't meet what I need. I just won't trade just to be trading it. Okay. But see, the problem is when people make the mistake, I'm going to tell you where people make the mistake. People make the mistake of just seeing this on the scanner and they say, okay, here's a D. I'm going to put my entry at 68273 and I'm going to put my take profit here. I'm going to go all the way up to take profit 3. Okay. That's where people make the mistake. And this is where I tell you, again, I'm just telling you my style. I don't look to catch 68273 all the way up to 68607. I'm not looking to catch take profit 3. This is what I do. I focus on this area between this red line and this entry because now this becomes a support. This becomes my resistance. Okay. So I focus on this little sweet spot right here. And I've sent people, screenshots of my trades. I'm not looking to catch 10, 15, 20 pips on one move. I'm in 4 or 5 pips. I'm out. I go back, I wait for the next entry. I go another 5, 6, 7 pips. I'm out. But those compounded trades add up. And see, some people make the mistake of just setting it, and you could have had a trade that you entered here, and it went all the way up to here, right? And then pulled back. And then you weren't paying attention because you could have been asleep or anything. You set it all the way up to here, go here, a few points before your take profit, then it pulls back down. Now, I know that's happened to some people on this call right now, and I'm not greedy. Some people want to catch 70, 80 pip moves. That's more of a swing trade for me, as far as thought process. I'm not that type of person that trades that way. I'm an in and out type trader. I like the quick movement. I may make, just let me see. Yesterday I did. It's not showing me yesterday. I'm just gonna give you an example. For the last 7 days, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20. I did 80 trades in 1 week. So you see, I'm not looking to catch one trade and catch it for all those pips. I'm just looking to get, enough out the market where I could just compound my, 3 pips here, 5 pips here. And, if you're doing, like I trade $5 and $10 lot sizes. So that stuff adds up pretty quickly and I can meet my goal of, 1,000, 2,000 a day, using that. So that's what works for me. But see, this is where the patience comes in as far as waiting here. So this looks like it's a little bit off from coming up here. So let's see if we can scan something to see what the market is telling us. Let's see.
That's why you're looking for that. You're saying that like you don't even necessarily concern yourself with TP1. You just, because of your lot size, you're just trying to get a few pips.
Yeah. And
then even if it doesn't retrace, you'll come out.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of set it and forget it person. What I do is when I make that trade on this, say for example, it was this NZD, I'm gonna show you what I do. Let me close this out. I'm gonna show you what I do. Dang, why I keep doing it? Okay. This is what I do. My wife in the back like, okay, what do you do? Okay, there you go. Okay, so here, let me put a Bollinger Band on here. See, I work this sweet spot from here to here. And what'll happen, see, this red line is your resistance. If you notice here, these trades here, when they broke this line here, what did it tap? Once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and it dropped. So it retested that red line 7 times. So if I was in this trade, I could have made a ton of money with this back and forth right here, because I'm not looking to break all the way up to take profit 3. So what I do is if I'm in a trade, I will set a 10 pip take profit in case a news event comes out, or, you know, someone in the prime ministry got fired, or this is a terrorist attack. That way, in case it's a long wick, it's going to hit my 10 pips minimum and I'm out. But generally, when I'm making my trades, I'm watching it. Like, I watch my stuff like a hawk. So if I'm in, I catch, you know, 3, 4, 5 pips, I close. So I make 150. I wait for the next entry, make another 150, $300. You know, do another one. And I know that I can make money between here and here, because all it's going to do is jump up and retest. It's going to retest when it hit there. Generally, it's not going to hit this the first time. When it gets in this area, it's going to come back down, right? So I play this little sweet spot right here. That's what I do. So I don't look to get it from here all the way to here. If I'm up, what I'll do is either, if I'm up 5 pips, either I'll take profit or I'll move my stop loss right above my entry, which makes it totally risk-free. So you want to make it, when you trade, you're risk-free. So when you're in a trade and you're up, if you put it just a little bit over your entry, the worst is going to happen. It's going to tap you out, hit your stop loss, and you broke even. That's the worst that's going to happen. So I don't mind that, because I can still go back and re-enter. But see, what that's why I do is try to keep drawdown down. You follow me? And see, a lot of times people wait and hold it. I'm like, no. If I'm up, I put my stop loss right at the right in my entry, you know, to cover the spread, maybe two pips or whatever. And if you're running off to the races, it's all to the good. If it doesn't, I just wait for the next trade. Does it make sense? Verdita?
Yes, absolutely.
See, what that does, it keeps you risk-free, because the worst that can happen is nothing. The worst that's going to happen is you just tap you out, and it's a break-even trade for you. And all you do is, guess what? Wait for the next entry. That's it. I keep it so simple with how I do this. And see, if somebody would win that trade, when I told you it wasn't ready, look what it's doing. It's coming down. Mm-hmm. Because I guess it's doing it down here. You see what I'm saying? So all that would have been a no. So I wouldn't even enter that trade, because this right here is not giving me what I need.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now that we see the red candle appearing, is there a way, like, let's say, without waiting for the graph to read, is like there a way to anticipate when there will be a blue or a red, how far it goes up, how far it goes down, without having to analyze it, like, or is just guessing if I'm trying to predict like that?
You might do me a favor. Can you repeat that, because you were going in and out? I'm sorry.
Yeah, basically what I was saying, like, when we're looking at this graph where we see the red candle appearing, before it there was a blue one. What I'm asking is this: is there a way to predict in advance when there will be a blue or a red candle, when it's going up or down, without guessing, or is just always about a scientific process to discover when the market goes up and down?
Man, I tell you, if I knew ahead of time what it was going to do, I wouldn't be on this webinar right now. I'd be on the beach somewhere.
Yeah, because actually I started about 2 weeks ago with IML, and right now I opened my account on MetaTrader 4 on Friday. So I haven't gone through all of the modules in the Forex. I didn't finish even the modules in the basics yet. So I was trading something on Friday. In 1 hour, I pulled $933.71 with the demo account.
Nice.
I don't know how I did that. Maybe I was just using my.
You were doing what I call the Holy Ghost trading.
Beginner's luck.
Good Lord, please be a good trade. That's what you did. So yeah, so don't worry about it. It's all luck. And in the beginning, it's going to be luck. You know, but it's nice to see what could be done when you actually execute those trades. It's probably a good feeling. So congratulations to you for that. But
Yeah, thanks.
basically you just got lucky. And I tell people all the time, luck is not a strategy. So you have to develop and find the strategy that's going to work for you. But what you need to do is go to that academy, go through some of the live sessions with whichever educator you want to choose to go through. I think Gold Cup is the easiest, and just find one thing that works for you.
Mhm.
That will
Okay.
work.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
Let me pull up. Let me see if I can pull up a different currency pair, and I'm going to show you another thing I do too when I'm looking at a certain pair. So let's see if something is setting up. Okay, so let's look at the GPB USD. So what I do is when you look at the GPB USD on this particular trade, okay, what you want to do is usually the D's at the bottom is telling you it's a bullish market. You want to see on the hour, is it saying the same thing? So it's a yes because the D's at the bottom. You want to look at the 4 hour. What's the 4 hour telling you? Yep, it's still the D's at the bottom. And then you also want to look at you can look at the daily also, and the daily will tell you the same thing. Yeah, the D's at the bottom there too. So this here lets you know that this is simply a bullish market that we're looking at right now because the trend is bullish. Okay. Show you guys this entry here. And I'm going to show you how history repeats itself. And again, the strategy, like I said, works for me. I don't want to take responsibility if anybody is not successful with this. I'm just, Verdita asked me to share what works for me, and she sees some of the things that we do, and I just want to be able to be in a position I can help. So let's show you guys the stochastic on this one here. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at this trade right here. Okay, so D was positioned here. Okay, you can see the candle broke through the Bollinger Band on that one particular candle there, and it continued to go up. See here, that's exactly what happened. See right here, it broke the pink, the gray area here. The two lines crossed each other, and this red and blue line are far apart from each other. But more important than that, they crossed each other, and the blue line is facing upwards. Okay, so this is what happened here. Is what you see right here. Okay, where they actually crossed and they broke that line. So you can see between this entry where it broke the line all the way up to here. So here is 128957, all the way up to here 1295. So what is that? Not even 10 pips. Let me see. 6, 7. Said about 6 pips. So if this was me, I would have entered here, right? And I would have got my money when it hit 5 or 6 pips. I just closed out. And what I do is I wait for the next candle to formulate. So now here, if I did a $5, $10 lot size, I done just made here to $5 on that. I'd have made $300 between here and here. I'd have made $300 right there. And what I do is when I close, guess what I do? I wait for the next candle. So here, if I'd have closed out, I waited for this next candle to tell me what I need, because guess what? Now that I'm closing this trade, I want to go back to my fundamentals. Are the red and blue line crossed each other, right? Here, the blue line is facing downwards. So I'm not going to enter this trade again right here. I'm going to wait for this to come back down, and I'm going to re-enter again.
Question, when the blue line goes downwards, it means that people start selling, correct?
Yeah, all this represents when you see that blue line coming down, you'll see the red candle start to formulate. This here, the red candle means is dropping, blue means it's going up.
Okay, so basically when we see blue, it means that people start buying, and when we see red, it means that they start selling.
Correct. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what color we call this here? This blue?
Not sure.
We call this Jay-Z blue.
Okay, from the singer? I don't listen to that music though, but yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah. He said his favorite hue is Jay-Z Blue. That's an inside joke. Okay. Anyway.
This is Michael Parker. I have a quick question for you. When you enter, do you do market executions or are you doing limits or stop order?
No, I'm doing market execution. Once that candle breaks through, I'm doing market execution. See, I watch my trades, 100% of the time when I'm trading. So only time I use market execution, like buy stops, sell stops when I'm trading the news.
Okay. Another question I have was you said you mentioned you focused in on one currency pair. So when you go into the Harmonic scanner, are you specifically looking just for that currency pair that you focus in on, or are you trading whatever the Harmonic scanner presents?
No. What you do is, like for me, I trade most of the pound pairs, but it's usually GPB USD, GBP JPY, or GPB CAD. So I like the pound pairs. I like the way it moves. Plus, I stay up real late, so I'm capitalized on the London market. So generally, from 2 to 5 in the morning, I've made a king's ransom, and I could go to sleep easy. You know what I mean? But some people may not have the autonomy to stay up that late. They may want to trade the New York session. So what you have to do is find what works for you and find a currency pair that you like. All of them are good. It just has to fit your trading style. It has to fit what you're willing to get out, what you're looking to get out the market. If you know that the pound and the euro moves quickly at 2 a.m. Eastern time when the market opens, then sometimes you got to get uncomfortable and get up at 2 a.m., right? And if you got to trade it for an hour or 2 hours, get your pips and go to sleep. That's what I did. Even when I used to work, I was working over about 65 hours a week when I worked. And what I did is I just got uncomfortable. I said, you know what, if I want to make this my exit strategy and I want to make this my vertical leap, I got to be super uncomfortable. So I stayed up real late, even though I was dirt tired when I had to go to work at 8 in the morning. It was nice being able to walk in a little bit late after you'd have made $500-$600, before you went into work. But this, once you learn this stuff, it's very, very simple. See, the market just works in waves. It does the exact same thing over and over and over again. So all you have to do is be able to recognize the entry and you master your entry points. And the problem is, and I've said this on every training I've done, people want to get all this, being greedy. You can make a king's ransom in this little sweet spot right here. You can make a king's ransom. So what's going to happen is this. Once this retests and hit this red line a few times, maybe 3-4 times, it's going to break through. When it breaks through, chances are it's going to go to that take profit 3. You know what I mean? But I don't need that. Here, I'm going to make my sweet spot right here. Because you can make 10 pips a day and make a king's ransom in the market with just 10 pips. Once you get your account big enough to do that, you do 10 pips with a $10 lot size, you made $1,000. So you don't need a lot of pips to really do really well. That way I can,
Lance, before you go to another, I don't know if we're going to do anything else with this one right now because you got the bearish candle, but I just have a quick question. You were saying that on the D point, you're looking to see if it's a buy, you're looking for this blue candle to penetrate the Bollinger Band, but it seems like it was something you shared before where you also want the red candle to come outside of the Bollinger Band. Is that the case or not?
No, it depends because these lines, these Bollinger Bands lines, they move all the time. So when this red one came down here, what I want to do is make sure that my blue candle positions myself right where the D is. And that's exactly what it did. It gave me the blue candle right where the D entry was, and it broke inside the Bollinger Band. It gave me some volume in the candle, yes. And at the time, the red-blue line actually crossed into this area here, and the blue line was facing up. So I just look for the same thing over and over and over again. When you see this sideways motion right here, and these two lines are parallel, don't enter a trade when you see those two lines parallel. When you see them parallel, don't even think about entering a trade. What you want to do is wait for you to get a definitive curl upwards or downwards on the sell. So the same thing, when you see something, let's look for a sell so I can show you guys the difference here. Well, let's find something that's a sale. Let's find something that's a sale here. Let me find an hourly chart.
So while you're looking for that, Lawrence, I have another question. When
Yes.
you're up between 2 and 5 a.m., are you doing any type of trade house where you have a team of people on? I know one of the other Chairman 50 has a goal of creating 1,000 millionaires in 2018, and he's on, at least he says, every night with his team, and they're doing trading together. Are you doing anything like that?
No, I'm not doing that because, you know, and I know you talk about he's actually doing a great job with his team. But for me, you know, people pay for their education with iMarkets Live, and we have all the educators with them. I don't want that responsibility because if people lose money, I don't want to feel bad because I told them to do it. You know, like I said, when I do these, I always put disclaimers out there. My strategy may not work for everybody. So when you're doing that, you know, if you look at, you know, Dr. Spiller's trades, he's not scalp trading. He puts in his trades, take profit 1, 2, 3, and he's the kind of guy that wants you to get all the pips out of one trade. That's not my strategy. My strategy may not work for a lot of people. So it works for him. I'm glad he's winning doing that, but that's not a hat I want to wear. You know what I mean? Because, you know, everybody loves you when you win in the trade, but they be willing to burn you at the cross with a 2 or 3 bad trades. You know what I mean? So I don't want that stress in my life. You know, I can help people understand what to do. But what happens is when people do that, to me, they make people just dependent on that person instead of focusing on the products. To me, that's just my personal opinion. No knock against what he's doing because it's absolutely working. But now it's all about my signals, and, you know, they're dependent, you know. So I'm sure he teaches them a strategy as well. It's not hard. He teaches the scanner as well. The problem is people want a shortcut. And, you know, it's crazy because I'm glad you asked that question. People say, well, Lawrence, I want to learn your optimal entry strategy. Okay. You focus on this for 2 weeks. Then so-and-so is teaching his mic drop strategy. You focusing on that. Then you focus on another person. This person made 100,000 trade. Now you focus on how they do it. Now you focus on their strategy. What you got to do is put the blinders on and focus on your lane. You know, focus on your strategy. Was working for you until you find it, because just because somebody else made a grip in their broker account doesn't mean you're going to do it, because their trading strategy be totally different. That may not be congruent with the type of person you are. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because everybody may not be a scalp trader. You may say, man, Lawrence, I don't know if I want to make 5, 6, 7 trades a day. I just want to make 1 trade for the day and be done. Well, my style is not going to be for you. And I could tell you, okay, well, I made $60,000 this month, but guess what? It ain't gonna work for you because our strategies aren't congruent with who you are. So it takes time for you to find out who you are as a trader. And it's gonna take you to practice a few strategies. What I can tell you is with the Gold Cup strategy, 68-7 since its inception, 68 wins, 7 losses. I don't know about you guys, that's a pond I want to swim in. Because guess what? It's going to be less pain. Right?
So with the Gold Cup,
you draw 2 lines. You draw the support line and the resistance line with the Gold Cup. Real simple.
So with the Gold Cup, they're trading gold, and they're also the T-Cup is part of that. So which?
Yeah, but I wouldn't suggest a T-Cup. Just when you get the Gold Cup, just trade with Luke Longmire.
Okay, so you're just talking about trading gold.
Yeah, and just trade on. And you're just trading on. You trade the gold, and he trades the pound pairs. He trades GU and he trades GA. He's added on there, and he's getting ready to trade US 30, which I don't suggest anybody touch US 30 unless you got a nice size account. Okay, so he's going to focus on that. Does that make sense? What I had to share with you, man?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
No, Lawrence, you were talking about finding your own strategy. And if you think about professional ball players, they started out probably in kindergarten playing baseball or football or whatever, And, they just have, like, if you're a basketball player, there's a certain kind of move you might have or whatever, because you begin to feel it. And but they, all those years that they were practicing and playing, they never made a dime. It wasn't until they got into the pros that they started making any kind of money. So I'm saying all that to say that, when we first started learning this, yes, you may not make as much money as you would like to make at first, but if you just be consistent, just like one of those people that paid the price all those years, once you do get it, it is going to pay off. You're going to be able to make a whole lot of money. So it is definitely worth learning and develop your own style.
I'm trying to find a sale order so I can show you guys. But yeah, you're right. When I talk about the education with IML, I'm like, look, if anybody was on the presentation I just did, I always say, look, you go to medical school for 2 semesters, they're not giving you a white jacket they're not giving you a stethoscope and a white jacket. It takes time. And people go to college and spend all their money on school, and you don't get paid till you graduate. Heck, you get 2 credit hours away in medical school, and guess what? You're not a doctor, right? You can't go out and get paid as a doctor because you don't have your degree. So it takes time, but you're the best investment you can make. And the problem is people think you're going to learn this in 30 or 60 days, and you mentally looking like this, oh my God, I got to pay my monthly fee next month. And now you're looking at it as a burden, but you don't realize it's really a blessing. So you got to do what you got to do to keep on paying it. For me, I could not use these products. I mean, they really helped me. So it's all about the way you look at it. But, people think they're going to get microwave success. What huge industry that pays you a lot of money do people get microwave success in? You don't get microwave success in real estate, right? You don't get microwave success in any industry. I mean, everything nothing happens overnight that's going to pay you real vertical type money. Otherwise, it's all luck. You know what I mean? So, it takes time to learn this, but once you learn it, is it going to be frustrating? Yep. You may blow a few accounts. Yep. I told a guy, he said, well, I blew $1,000 account. I said, okay, well, man, guess what? You just paid for your books for your first semester. Mentally, that's how you got to look at it. I just paid for my books in my first semester towards getting my MBA, my massive bank account. So you got to look at it. It's all about the way you look at things. So let's look at this. The movement on this particular, trade right here. So this is Euro USD. This here is a 15-minute chart. Let's look at the hourly. Same thing. So it's telling me D is at the bottom, so I know it's a buy. Okay, so let's kind of look at the movement on this one here, and you can see. If you notice when these broke these lines here, you can see all this testing around. I would not have entered any of these trades yet because up to here it was just tap dancing, but it didn't give me my confirmation here. You notice when this line crossed right here, when you see the red and blue line cross right here, that's where you have that entry right there. Okay, and if you notice, the first 4 or 5 candles not going to go up to the red line. So if you found this trade and you decide you want to enter when that red and blue line cross each other, I mean, you got from here, 12993 up to here, 1, 2, 3. So you get 4 pips out of that. Heck, take it and run. And when you close out, wait for the retest. But now what it's doing is retesting another 7 minutes. You're going to get another candle that's going to form. It's going to give you all the confirmations you want, right? And you keep doing the exact same thing over and over again and master that one good thing, you can be a great trader. But the patience comes in the discipline. Trading is 80% mental, 10% technical, and 10% emotion. So you got to master the side of this, which is the greed side, and master. And what you want to do is, when I talk to people about trading, focus on one strategy, one pair, and don't keep more than 2 or 3 trades open at one time. Depending on the size of account you have, finish one trade out. 1 or 2 positions. This way you master the art of keeping your drawdown down, right? You're only having 2 trades open. Like for me, I got a pretty big account now, so I don't even use a stop loss when I trade. You know, and I say that humbly because I'm the most humble guy you want to meet. It took time to do that, but I don't use a stop loss on that trade because I could be down 50, 60 pips on the trade. I know it's going to come back. That's why when I showed you all those trades, I don't lose a trade because guess what? I could wait it out. So to keep my drawdown from being big, what I do is if I'm in the blue, move my stop loss up just above the entry. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna tap out at at a break even point, and I wait for the next one. There's gonna be some where I go in and hey, news comes out, anything happened, and the trade goes the other way, and I'm just battling, wait for it to pull back. And what I do is I'm patient. I just wait for the pullback. But until then, I don't put in all these other extra trades. I stay to my guns on not keeping a lot of trades open at one time.
Lawrence, do you ever utilize the currency strength meters in certain ways that, you got the harmonic scanner, but do you ever consider the strength meters when you're making trades?
Yeah. What you could do when you use that, basically, this is going to give you a barometer of what the market is doing. So if you're paying attention to one particular currency pair, let's say, for example, you're just trading the Euro USD this week, okay? What you do is you look at that currency strength meter, and if you're scalping, you know when to get out of your trade and when to get when to get out of your trade. Let me stop share this and show you. So if you're looking at the currency strength meter, anybody who uses this, very simple. The bigger the slice of the pie means the stronger the currency is. The smaller slice of the pie means the weaker it is. So if I'm looking at the USD versus Canadian right now, the Canadian is in the orange, and I do USD Canadian, that means right now it's probably an uptrend because it's a buy because the US dollar is way stronger than the Canadian right now, right? Mm-hmm. On the flip side, if the Canadian was way bigger than USD, that means it's a sell. So if I'm scalping and I'm looking at 15-minute candles, I can just pay attention to this as it changes. So I know to get out of my trade. And if I want to reverse it and I'm on a buy and I see it changing, I could jump in and do a sell on that same position and catch 3-4 pips the same way, going the other way. But I'm still working this. I'm still working the sweet spot. I'm still working the sweet spot between here and here. So I can make money going up. And when I know it's coming up for retest and look at the currency strength meter, if I see it switching, I know to close my position, maybe ride it down for 3-4 pips.
Lawrence, excuse me. What was it that you just showed us?
That's it. They call it a currency heat wave. It's an app. You download free. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lawrence, this is Sylvia. I'm a newbie. So,
hey, Sylvia.
Hello. So you don't necessarily enter a trade at the entry point. You're looking at the Bollinger Band, as you call the sweet spot, anywhere between the bottom of the Bollinger Band and the resistance, and also looking down at stochastic. If it's a buy and the blue is above, then you can enter there rather than waiting for the green entry on the right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's the point of mastering the entry. See, the scanner only is giving you the direction where they think it's going to go. They give you a range, or they think that's the entry point. Like if you're looking at this and then you look at the scanner, it's a shark pattern. That means you're going to have two entry points. I never enter on the first entry. I wait for it to tap down to the second entry.
Okay.
Then I enter.
Okay, because I was looking at the scanner today, and I've set up my dummy account in MetaTrader 4, but I couldn't find anywhere to get in because it looked like all of the entry points everything had already taken off from the entry points. So now I know how to look at it a different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, 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 very important. And again, when you're looking at that and you don't see a good setup, don't trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the patience comes in. Don't just be trading just to be trading. You know what I mean? If you don't see the right entry and it's not meeting all the criteria for you, and again, you don't have to use this strategy. I'm just telling you what works for me. But the scanner, if you go back in history and look at all these different pairs, like I'm gonna show you guys. If you look at this, I'm gonna click just any random pair. If you look at the hourly on this, let's just pick the CAD JPY. D was here, profit. All JPY. D was here, profit. D was here, profit. The scanner is 80% accurate. You just have to master the entry and not be greedy. You know, again, sweet spot. Here to here. If you work that entry on that Bollinger Band to the red resistance point, and then what happens is once it breaks the red line and it breaks down, now this is your resistance and this is your support when it breaks the red line. You see how when the red candle broke it, now this red line now instead of becoming the ceiling is actually the floor, and this is the ceiling. Does it make sense?
You lost me right there.
Okay, you wrote this down. Remember I told you when you get to this red line, this is going to be your resistance point.
Or resistance, right?
You see how it kind of just hovered, you know, here, but never really broke it seriously. But here it broke it seriously, and look, it came all the way down from here from 1367 down to 88513. And that's a nice pip count right there. That's real nice pip count you could have made. So when it broke through, now when it breaks through here, now the red line is your support and the blue line is your resistance.
Okay.
So now what it's going to do is guess what? It's going to either retest or keep dropping. Retest or keep dropping. So now it comes down. And you see here when I say now this becomes the resistance. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these times it tapped.
Mm-hmm.
Then what it do? It went from here. Now this became the resistance, the support rather.
I got you.
1, 2. Then it broke again, and it repeats itself. It's the same stuff. When it broke through, it tapped the next Bollinger Band line. So you can make money, even though this is a shark. This is a pattern here with the D's at the top. You can make money on the sell, and you can make money on the reversal on the buy on the same currency pair.
I got you. So just get out of the trade, and then we're looking at what it's doing, and then we can get right back in on the same one.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you use a currency strength analysis app and use these fundamentals here, you can rock one currency pair, and if it's a buy or sell on the scanner, you can make money both ways.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Knowing the support and resistance on each pair, just know the red line and blue line is just support and resistance. Just work it. If you know the fundamentals, it's not generally going to break through those lines the first time. You're going to have 1, 2, 3 where it taps it, and then maybe the 4th or 5th candle with a breakthrough. Mm-hmm. But you go back in history and look at all the different times it tapped the lines, and it does the exact same thing.
Okay. I have one other question. You reset something. I was going from my phone to my computer, and you were saying that you reset somewhere so you could see what you could get the most current.
Oh, right here. Just click this.
Ah, okay.
Gotcha. Click the thing there, and it'll give you the next thing they see.
All right.
The hottest, entry right
okay.
now. Yeah. So yeah, that's what that'll refresh everything for you. Just click that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Lawrence, another quick question. You use the CASIC a lot. The RSI is already on there. Are you using it at all?
No. Basically, what I'm looking at is when you look at this RSI and stochastic, that's the red line and the blue line anyway on that. So they're all tied in with one another anyway.
So RSI is a combo of the stochastic, is what you're saying?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm also trying to compare live on MetaTrader platform. When I go on a chart and it says templates, I selected something called momentum. And my question here, it shows lines in green and red. Is the red the same equivalent as blue? and the green the equivalent of red in harmonic scanner.
What are you looking at?
There's a chart there. I'm looking at the US Canadian, and I selected for under charts that says something template. I selected a template called Momentum.
Are you looking at the MetaTrader 4, or are you in
MetaTrader 4? Yeah.
Yeah, all it is just a difference in the colors of your color scheme on your candles.
Oh, okay. Because the candles, the blue ones are empty green, and the red ones are white candles.
Yeah, you could change those. Yeah, you could change those colors.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Does anybody else have any more questions? We're into the end of the hour, and we don't want to hold you up much longer, but I just wanted to make sure if anyone had any specific questions, we can go ahead and ask our chairman at this time. I would like to share. Awesome. Lawrence, if you don't mind, I wanted to share. Can I share? So you cannot start share. Okay, can I share something? Somebody else is sharing something, so I can't. It said I can't share.
What do you need to do, Verdita?
I'm trying to share a flyer.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you a post back. Yeah, no, you're the host now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why I can't see this. Okay, there we go. I wanted to let's see if I can do it.
Everybody get some good stuff from that. Let me see if you put some stuff in.
Awesome.
Does that make any sense to anybody?
Most definitely.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, this was awesome training, Lawrence.
And I sent Verdita, if you could, I sent you a text. Could you put the fundamentals in the chat that I gave you? I sent you that to just copy and paste it that way to have it as far as the sell and the buy.
Okay. Let me see how I can do that. I'm gonna have to end up coming into. I'm not on my phone. I'm on the computer. So let me see how I can do that. But I could put that in the team. What I could do is put it in the team chat if that'll work.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
I'll put this in this information in the team chat. Or let me just do this. I'm gonna give it to Piker. Piker's better to get this stuff to me. And then, yeah, we still probably need to do it in the team chat. You know what I'm saying? Because.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I can send it to you on your Facebook too if you want to copy and paste it that way.
That would be great.
I just sent it to you.
So you guys, I just wanted to let you know before we end the call. First of all, I want to thank our chairman for just being so gracious to spend some time with us tonight. We know he's such an expert trader.
No,
we look up to you, Lawrence. We know you know way more than what we and you know it doesn't hurt to get those you shared so many helpful hints tonight. We really appreciate that. But I wanted to invite anyone in the Atlanta area, or if you know anyone in the Atlanta area, we're doing a trade house. We'll do a short presentation and go into just a trade house at the Buckhead Library in Atlanta this Friday at 4 p.m. sharp, because we only have a little bit of time in that library. So if you want to RSVP, you can see the phone number at the bottom. It will be posted in the team app as well. Get your guest out. Come there, and we'll have a great time. So,
Verdita, if anybody doesn't know me, they can look me up on Facebook, Lawrence Michael Young. If you got some good value on this, just drop a line on my page saying you got some good info on the training today. And this is recorded. If anybody want to send me a sidebar message on Instant Messenger, I'm real good at follow up and getting back to you. So
I think we're going to keep up with this 777. If this was a great call, go ahead and put 7777 in the chat for our chairman, Lawrence Young. We really, really, really appreciate you. And you guys, if you're coming to Las Vegas next week, make sure you come up to Lawrence and give him a shout out. We really appreciate that. And Lawrence, you want to share what you're doing on your Monday through Friday calls?
Yes. Monday through Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And at 8 o'clock Eastern time, we do a presentation, all of our chairman leaders, 8 o'clock Eastern time at 100chairman.com. Tonight, we had over 80 people on the call I did tonight. Then Thursday nights at 10 o'clock, my wife hosts the women's call, the Rich Girls Trade call, where there's a lot of real sharp women that gets on at 10 o'clock. She's been doing that call for almost 3 years now, so it's really good stuff for women there as well, too. And, you know, my wife is a beast. You guys think you think I'm good. My wife is incredible. So, fellas, I married up. So.
Hey, Lawrence, this is Tando all the way from South Africa. And I just want to shout out to you and say thank you very much for the time that you spent training us. We've learned very much from you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, my friend. I'm glad you got some good value on it. And I'll be happy to do some more trainings, for you guys. And what I suggest you guys do is if you go to YouTube and key in Tim Holloman. I actually learned this strategy from him. Like I said, I'm not going to take credit for it. Tim Holloman on YouTube, he's got a lot of his trainings on there that you can actually tap into. But yeah, just don't reach out to him because he's kind of private. But some of his trainings are, hour long, 2 hours long. It's really good stuff. So listen,
thanks very much.
I appreciate you guys. I gotta go.
We love you, Lawrence, and tell Tamara we said hi. We really
I love you all too.
Right,
We're did an excellent cause, Sugar Plum.
Thank you all so much. Again, we'll see you all next week in Las Vegas.
You bet. I look forward to it.
Guys.
Thank you, Lawrence. Benita, thanks for listening.
All right.
Yeah,
And this
thanks,
call-
Lawrence.
this
It was very
recording-
informative
this-
tonight for a beginner like myself. I learned a lot. Some of the points that you mentioned were kind of in the same in line with what I was doing when I was looking for some entry points. So there was some similarity to my strategy there, but there was also a lot of things I didn't know about. So thanks again. We should have this type of trainings on a regular basis, as I believe that they build up the confidence level of the people, and everybody's going to be successful.
Absolutely. I just posted those notes in the Access Rich University team app, so make sure that you get them there. And also, we will see you all tomorrow morning on the Rise and Profit call.
Okay.
I think it's I think that's what's the crypto guy? What's his name?
Crypto Picasso.
Not him.
Nick Gomez.
Yeah, Nick Gomez. I believe he normally comes on. So thank you all so much for jumping on. This was a great call.
Radita, one last question. Where can we get the replay link for this call?
I'm gonna see if Pika can get it and put it in the team app,
Okay.
or either on Telegram. I'm not sure what she's gonna do, but we'll make sure we get it out because this was awesome. Thank you so much again. Y'all have a wonderful night. Yes.